Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to True Telos Trading. Today is September 26th, almost Thanksgiving. We have another stock that we traded this morning, and again, we traded a B quality stock. What's up with me just trading B quality stocks? Am I not checking to make sure that they are A quality according to my True Telos Trading rating scale? I finally figured out where that problem lies, and we're going to explain it in this video. Let's go ahead and get into that stock of today. The stock that we traded this morning, the ticker was MAMBR. Today's date, again, is November 26, 2025. Got that all wrong, didn't I? The stock did have a news catalyst. This would be a 3 here. The float was below 200. Supposedly it was below 200 million shares. Since I'm using DayTrade Dash, I get to see it a little bit differently, but it's also a little bit more confusing. On DayTrade Dash, the float was approximately like 2 million shares, 2 million shares for a float. But on Webull, the float was 86 million, which is very confusing. I didn't actually know what the float was. I had to go with the information that I had since I'm using DayTrade Dash. I just went ahead and went with that one, especially since it was among the top stocks this morning. So according to DayTrade Dash, it had 2 million. So we're going to say that the float was below that 10 million. It was not trading above the 200 moving average. The 200 moving average on this stock is up here at $7.13. When I bought the stock this morning, it was only at $2.10. So we were not above that 200 moving average. This will be a 0 here. We were not up above 50% at all when I traded this stock. We were a bit under like 30%, if I'm not mistaken. We were under 30%. And that is one of the crucial things that I want to talk about. But we were below 50, so this would be a 0 here. Price was definitely under $10. Like I said, we bought it at $2.10, so this will be a 1 here. It was among the top 3 stocks this morning. This trading sessions have been very, very slow, and not just to me, but to other traders as well. We don't have a lot of stocks popping up, getting that 100%. We had one move that much yesterday, over 100%, like 150, 160, close to 200, but that was later on in the afternoon. So we're not seeing this big morning momentum like we normally see in the hot market. So it was among the top 3, but it wasn't above that 50%. This would be a 1 here. It did not reach any all-time highs today. This would be a 0 here. If we add all of these together, this gives us a score of 7. And if we look at our True Telos Trading grading scale, a score of 7 means that it was a B quality stock. So again, it's another B quality stock that I'm trading in the morning. You know, what's going on? Why am I trading these stocks that don't meet my True Telos Trading grading scale as an A quality stock? The reason why that is because because I'm using DayTrade Dash, I'm able to see these stocks moving super early. I'm going to go into the chart for the stock so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, but I get to see the moves super early. When I look at my top gainer scanner for Webull, I'm only looking at the top 5 stocks in the market that morning. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and show you what I'm looking at when I look at my Webull top gainer scanner. This is all I see in the morning when I look at my Webull top gainer scanner. I see the top 5 stocks in the market with the top 5 percentages. But when I look at my DayTrade Dash, I'm just looking at things that are moving up at a certain percentage, at a certain rate, things that match my criteria to, not to a T, but because I always have to go back and put them into the trading scale. But when I do see things moving off of news that are very, very similar. When I see that the float matches, when I see that the price matches, when I see that that's moving off of that breaking news, I immediately want to hop in that stock. I dial in and then I go for the trade that I see. But because I'm not seeing those stocks right here, I'm only seeing them when they get up here to that 50%, when they get up here to that 20% right now. But when I use the DayTrade Dash, I get to see them when they first make that early move, and I'm trying to hop in on that early move. Maybe I need to wait a little bit until that stock meets that criteria of mine, but it's hard in that moment to see that it's not meeting. I see the stock moving up off of this news, and I'm marking off the next resistance points and where the stock has support at, and I'm trying to capitalize on that price movement rather than waiting for them to meet that criteria of mine. So let me take you to that DayTrade Dash, because again, I get to see them moving up here off of this, like off that momentum, that 51% up, 36% up, 32% up. But when I look at the DayTrade Dash, I'm going to show you what I see. When I look at the DayTrade Dash, I see the stock. It pops up and I get the audio cue that the stock is moving up. And it's moving up off of decent volume. This just shows me to see the stock float here versus the stock float uh, on the Webull scanner is completely different. The float here is 2.18 million, and the float on Webull was 86.19 million. So I had to go off the float that I saw. I saw that it had news here, and I saw it moving up off of that news, and I wanted to capitalize on that price movement again. When I click on it right now, it moved exactly to where I wanted it to go. It moved exactly up. It's up 53% right now. And like I said, I had bought the stock previously at 210, and right now it's at 240, 250. So that would have been a good move. And it moved later on in this morning session. So that proved that that I was correct. But I should have waited for that movement that I saw that made it go up that 30 to 40 and then close to 50%. But I was a little bit impatient this morning. That's one thing that I need to do, because I do get to see these stocks when they are moving a little bit early. So either I change the strategy to meet this newfound criteria that I have been able to see it move early. Maybe I want to capitalize on these stocks instead of them being up 50%. Maybe I want to change that to being up 30 or 35%, so I can capitalize on some of these movements that we're seeing in the market right now. But again, this is exactly what I'm seeing. Since I'm able to see it early, I'm trying to hop in early. And when I hop in early, these stocks don't meet my criteria as an A-quality stock, because I'm not letting that develop enough to where I can actually, to where it actually meets my True Telos Trading grading scale. So either two of things need to happen. Either I need to change the scale to match this newfound, earlier notice that I have, or I need to wait until these stocks meet that criteria. So I have to make up my mind on what I want to do with that. But let's go ahead and get into the chart to see how I traded AMBR today. This is our stock, AMBR, that we traded this morning. As we do see, it had news this morning and began to pop up a little bit. I marked the high of this morning here. This is this first mark at $1.97. It had broke that high of $1.97 and had hit this resistance point up here at 218. After it hit this resistance point and bounced off of it, I bought shares here for the break of that next resistance point. That resistance point was up here at about like I said, 218, and the resistance point after that was up here at this 252. That's what I was hoping that this stock would do in this moment here. So I bought in anticipation for the dip and the rip up to that next resistance point, but it kind of fizzled here, and I sold all of those shares just for a 2-cent profit, because it wasn't going up in the time that I know that I'm profitable, that first 90 seconds to 2 minutes. So I sold immediately. I'll go ahead and take it to the order window. So I bought all of these shares for that dip of that resistance point at 219, and I was hoping for the surge up past 219 to that next resistance at 250, but it kind of stalled out. So I sold the entire thing a few minutes later, or approximately 3 minutes later, up here at this 212. And this was up here was a FOMO trade. I saw SPRC popping up immediately after I sold this position. It started popping up, but like I said, I only got 2 cents on that one too, because I saw that it was a FOMO trade, so I went ahead and exited immediately after buying it. I didn't want to have even just that one share soil anything that I'm trying to do and staying consistent. But as we saw, I bought the dip at 210. It didn't rip up to my next resistance, so I sold it at 212. It's only 2 cents of profit. So today we're only up $4.31, but it's a profit nonetheless. Let's say about 20 minutes later, the stock did go up to my next resistance point and kind of stayed there. And right now it looks like it's in consolidation, but maybe this is what I need to do. I do need to make sure that I'm looking at the percentage that these stocks are up so that they do match my criteria. Because when that stock did go up a little bit closer to where it will be considered still a B, but up that 35% more, then it went up to my next resistance point. So maybe that's something that I need to change on my True Telos Trading grading scale. A lot of these stocks that I'm seeing aren't up to their 200 moving average. 200 moving average is all the way up here at 7. Yeah, the stock market is in a bearish market, and not a lot of stocks are above their 200 MA. But we did pick the right stock. We just chose the wrong time to trade it based on the percentage that it was already up. That means the people that are paying attention to it. So that's something that I'm going to correct here going into the future. If you liked this recap, please don't be afraid to like and subscribe, and welcome to True Telos Trading. So we're getting back into the groove of things. We're learning new things. We are seeing a lot more information than we have saw just because of the new platform that we are using, trying to use it in tandem with Webull, but it's coming with its challenges and its problems. But it's going to be how we work through those challenges and those problems that's going to determine how successful or unsuccessful we are as a trader. Again, if you have any questions for me, please do not be afraid to ask me. As always, I am an open book when it comes to everything. I love to answer your questions. I do get a few in chat or just to me privately, so please don't be afraid to ask. Again, I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. Welcome to True Telos Trading. I will see you all next time.